hopefully somebody else will come in, but it doesn't matter because we've got a quorum. Roll call. Lead on.
Terry Delapaz,
Fred Massey.
Jenny Flanagan.
Blake Costa.
Great. And with four folks here, we do have a quorum. Ashley Medeiros and Tyler Dixon both indicated that they could not make it prior to the meeting. The first matter of business is the approval of the minutes from 3/24/2025. Great job, Alyssa. A lot of work on that in terms of getting that down.
And I particularly appreciate the inclusion of the exhibits in the minutes. I don't think that we've done that before.
Yeah, no, that was
But I
good.
actually really like that.
And before we go there, Rick Matten is here. He will sit in an alternate for Tyler. And I'm here. Okay. There were some revisions that I had recommended to Alyssa and
I put them into mostly typos.
yeah. With those amended minutes, can I have a vote to a motion to approve?
So,
Motion. Okay, you make it.
so moved.
And a second. There you go. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, the first and only matter of business today is the petition for zoning map amendment, 51 Cole Street, Warren, Rhode Island, 02885, plat 130, lot 5, owners WIP LLC. Before we go there, or in terms of an introduction, the owner of this property came to us during the process of putting together our comprehensive plan. The planning board looked at the property that he was talking about. He wasn't asking us to take any action at that time, but was pointing out the fact that this is in a part of town that is particularly well suited to a mixed use, as opposed to manufacturing, which he is laboring under now. So as a result of that, and aware of the fact that we are looking for areas where you would have more an appropriate mixed use, this made sense to us. So we built it into the comprehensive plan, this particular property. So that's the background. Take it away.
Adam Thayer, I'm here on behalf of Chris Woodard, with the single member of WIP LLC. I think you did a great job summarizing it. I was actually the closing attorney that representing Chris when he purchased it. My colleague Michael Monti has been the one kind of guiding it through the municipal process here. But I'm a Warren resident myself. We're all familiar with the property. It's right off the bike path. I feel like it's all begging for this. Have some sort of nice commercial component also with hoping to alleviate hopefully some of the housing crisis that we find ourselves in the state of Rhode Island here by some housing events as well. So as I understand it, the
Is your mic on? Just for the recording.
Sorry, there we go. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
there
better.
you go.
Great. So as I understand it, the town council and the town have brought it into the comp plan, and now the matter has been referred back to the planning board to essentially confirm that this is consistent with the comp plan, which seems itself somewhat self-evident by the fact that it is verbatim, black and white, written into the comp plan. So I don't want to overcomplicate this. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can. Thanks.
Do you anticipate that the people who are there now, your bike shop, and I think there's also fellows doing car detailing, would remain there at this point, or?
I know Chris was in talks with them, but I don't know if anything's been finalized. I mean, in my internal practice, I do a lot of that lease work and stuff like that, and Chris hasn't come to me to do any updates or new leases with those folks yet, but I think that was definitely discussed with them.
Okay.
And I assume that you're aware that it also lies in the historic district,
Yes.
and therefore any changes to the outside should be run by the Historic District Commission.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
It could use some history.
I mean, honestly,
Not that it's a particularly historic building, but it just, I know that they're running into a bunch of folks in the area who didn't realize that they were in the district and then
Yeah, that's very.
ran
Yeah.
afoul of, whenever it comes up, I just remind people.
Yeah, and for whatever, I mean, Chris is a pretty sophisticated guy. He runs at the Keller Williams office. He's a realtor in town. Runs the Keller Williams office in Bristol. So he's a local guy. He's fairly sophisticated when it comes to real estate.
What we're here to do tonight is to recommend to the town council. We won't make the decision to make this change. So,
Which is a convoluted process because they sent it to us.
send
to
it
make
back
a
to us to
recommendation.
make a recommendation. Yeah, so one hopes that we can streamline this in the future. So, are there any other questions, concerns? Great. Based on our recommendation, we would use the same findings of fact. Ben?
Correct. And I'll have some language.
Which is that the proposed development is consistent with the comprehensive community plan, the current community plan. The proposed development is in compliance with the standards and the provisions of the municipality zoning ordinance. There will be no significant negative environmental impacts from the proposed development. The subdivision as proposed will not result in the creation of individual lots with any physical constraints. All proposed land developments and all subdivision lots have adequate and permanent physical access to the public street, except for administrative subdivision. Findings of fact must be supported by legally competent evidence. I don't know, all proposed land developments will have adequate and permanent physical access to a public street, which this does. Proposed development will not result in the creation of individual lots, which we already discussed. So, it ticks all the boxes, meets all of the requirements, and I'd make a motion to recommend approval of there's this request for the zoning map amendment to the town council. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Rick, Matt, and all in favor? Aye. Our work is done here.
There we go. That was a tough one. Thank you, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
If it were only that easy.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Blank, you miss it.
Right. Well, it's a great night. Go down to Water Street and get something to eat. Have a great
Say
night.
hi to Chris for us. Thank you very much. Anything else? Well, the Settlers Green, we have to note that there was a request for a continuance to the May 19th. Request to May 19th.
Okay, so.
We already changed the date is not,
It's May 19th?
yes,
Oh,
because Memorial Day is the following
I see.
week.
Okay. So what we have to do is note that this continuance was requested by the applicant with the acceptance that there would be no that this would not impact the timing for a decision based on this continuance.
Yes, Mr. Chair, basically a condition of approval would be that the applicant continues the timeframe respectfully in accordance with his request tonight. In other words, he's moving it a month. The timeframe gets kicked a month.
So they've only had one meeting with us, right?
Settlers Green?
Yeah.
Oh, they've had.
Well, what's the time clock is what I'm getting is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
correct.
start as of May 19th.
Correct, yes,
And
we're
that'd be
just
90
buying more
days.
time, correct. So he's
Yeah.
asking for a continuance conditioned
Okay.
on that the applicant agrees to continue the timeframe respectively.
And the reason for this was that Fuss and O'Neill, which is working for the town, it was determined by the town administration and with the agreement, our agreement, that there would be an engineering study conducted of the current plan done by Fuss and O'Neill, which is an independent engineering firm as opposed to the applicant's engineering firm. And that was the reason for this continuance, because it was being worked out who would do it and how it would be paid for. So at this point, we're moving forward, and the anticipation is that it would be done prior to the May 19th meeting. So that's where we are. So I'd ask for a motion to accept the applicant's request for continuance predicated on the idea that the 90-day timeframe does not begin until May 19th.
So moved.
Second, Blake, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Was there a reason for that?
Yes, the meeting is only 3 weeks from now, and if he doesn't have it ready now, he's not gonna have it ready in 3 weeks.
I mean, that's not for us to decide. Like, we're just here to make it, you know, if they're ready or not, that's, they
Yeah,
show
and
up
then
ready or
it may
not.
go to June.
That
I
shouldn't
don't know.
impact our decision-making process here.
And we may not have a quorum on the 19th. I won't be here.
Well,
But that's not, I mean, we could very well have a quorum.
You could.
But a vote against needs to be based in some level of
I mean, I
fact.
just ask that I mean, this is a very sensitive case, so, you know, this has potential to be litigious, so. I think first this, if you're gonna make that vote, be confident in your vote.
It's already been litigious and it's,
Good.
I think he's taking advantage of the board and keep on looking for extensions.
But that's not
I
the
would-
case.
I would recommend not allowing judgment of the applicant making a request to continue based on a process that the law dictates that the town agrees upon and the applicant has requested. There's no prejudice to,
We've got time
to the
limits.
town.
Why doesn't he?
I'm sorry,
We have time limits put against us.
this is
Why
the mutual
doesn't he?
agreement based on studies and engineering and getting costs and fees and the analysis done.
It's on us that we can do engineering.
Something's not supposed to pay for it.
But we chose to do.
Mr. Mann, my recommendation as your legal counsel to this board and to this town is to approve the continuous for another month to preserve all our rights.
Okay, well, I'm outvoted, so
Okay.
it doesn't have to be unanimous.
It is important though, when we have these decisions, that you have a sound reason behind the objection, because if we don't, and it goes to court, you know, in this case, we're not dealing with that right now, but we have dealt with it in the past, and the town has dealt with it in the past with other boards where they've made a decision that is not supported by fact. And the facts of the case here are that the town itself wants this extension as well as the applicant. So it's not a one-sided, we're not being pushed around, we're not being coerced. We're agreeing to a process that will hopefully give us a bit more leeway in terms of our discussions with the applicant. Without that study, we have less information upon which to make that decision.
Has the study been done yet?
No, it's been, they are doing it now. The intent would be that it would be done by May 19th.
And the study gives us better grounds to evaluate the viability of the proposal. It gives us better grounds to discuss with them areas in which we disagree. Without the study, we don't have good grounds to have that discussion.
Okay.
It's in our interest to have that study.
I changed my vote and go with the affirmative.
Great, thank you. Okay.
Public comment? Public comment.
Yeah, right. Anyone? We don't have anything on the agenda. This meeting, obviously, on the 19th will be very important. Because this is a matter that was not approved by the planning board, went to court. There was a judgment given on this. Now, my understanding though is that that was done by the State Housing Appeals Board. That judgment to overturn the board's rejection of the application, or did it go to Superior Court as well?
No, it went to the state first.
The State Housing Appeals Board.
Correct, but then at the same time this is happening, they eliminated SHAD completely. So procedurally, it's a little more complicated than just, you know, easy to explain steps, because the law changed in terms of how we appeal a decision by this board. And that's what went through eventually Superior Court.
So any decision that we make now can be appealed to the Superior Court
Correct.
by either the applicant or anybody who's opposed to
Agree
it.
person.
Would we receive like just some sort of brief prior to hearing the applicant from you? Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
For sure, yeah.
yeah,
that's-
I figured.
You know, it's a good question because it's the last time the decision was made without appropriate background information. And that was essentially why the board, the State Housing Appeals Board ruled against the planning board. I don't want to get into the details.
Yeah, I would recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
continue the matter.
Will we have guidance on what parts of the law that has changed over the past? 3
Correct,
years
yes.
apply?
Our office, myself and Tony will absolutely give the board clear guidance as to what law to apply to the application at this stage of the game.
Great.
Will we, as members of the board, have a chance to review this study prior to our meeting?
Well, once the documentation comes in, we will certainly share it with not only the board, but
Yeah.
the public too. It's a
Short
public
answer,
document.
yes.
Within 3 weeks? Okay.
Okay. And one other relevant matter is that as this particular application has gone through this process, the dams were taken down on the Kickamuit Reservoir that had been part of the Bristol County Water Authority. So there was a change in the status. I'm not sure that jurisdiction has been established yet.
I'd rather not speak about.
Okay, well, so the point being more importantly that one of the reasons for this engineering study was the length of time between the initial application and where we are today. So, and that's one of the other factors. Okay. There being nothing else, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
That was quick.